Welcome to Wrestle Talk episode 21. Today we're going to be talking about how WWE could spice up their match stipulations a little bit. So, the first, I'm going to come up with like 5 or maybe 6 new match types. Explain them. And then you tell me which ones you like and don't like, and which ones you think could be big. Okay, the first match I will call the sentimental match. The rules of this match: it's like a ladder match and a normal match at the same time. And the way there's no disqualification, and there will be ladders involved. There's only 2 ways to win. Submission does not count at all, and it's either climbing the ladder and destroying the wrestler's sentimental item, or pinning them. Those are the only 2 ways to win. You cannot win by knockout, TKO. The only way to win is either climb that ladder and destroy the sentimental item, or pin your opponent. And of course, this will be like a fake sentimental item, because you don't want to destroy something that the wrestlers actually love. That would be the whole point of it. It would be either a copy of it, or, a fake item altogether that they don't actually love. But it could work, and this could be a rivalry ender. And I feel like it will be entertaining enough to be its own standalone match type. The next match type, I know this will sound crazy, but once I explain it, it won't sound as crazy. Or it would probably sound even crazier. So, they kind of already did this, but it's going to be more involved. So, it's called the Cages match. So, first, you're both locked in a shark cage, surrounded by a steel cage, surrounded by the Hell in a Cell structure, and you have to skip all the cages to win the match. And the whole goal is to escape every single one of these cages before your opponent can. And then, I know that sounds like it will be boring and extremely long, but the whole point of it is it's supposed to be a main event match. It's not going to be like something that would happen on, it would take about like a 30-minute or 40-minute match. It ain't going to be like one of those short matches, It isn't supposed to be like a mid-card or a lower mid-card match. It's just for the main event, because the main event has a much longer amount of time sometimes. So, this would be the next match that could make things interesting is so there's an I Quit match. Like there's an I Quit match, something. Okay, but here's what I had the idea. A submission I Quit match, where the word But instead of saying I quit, you have to say I submit to the referee. That's the only way to win. If your opponent says I submit, then you win. It will be called the I quit submission match, because you have to say I submit, which is basically meaning I quit, but it only works if you're locked in a submission hold. So the whole goal is to damage your opponent enough to lock them in that submission hold to say the words I submit. I know it's a needless concept, but it could work. The next match I had in mind this is a mixture of competitions and wrestling. So here is the rules. There will be 10 competitions and 5 competitions and 5 wrestling matches. So you have to try to win the most you can of all 5. Each is worth 2 points. And you want to try to get the most points you can before the match ends so you can win. And I think the appropriate name for this match will be Points. Because the whole point of it will be about getting points. Next, will be a mixture of a steel cage and ladder match. They just said it's similar in WCW, but the thing is, this one will be more interesting. As there will be 2 boxes, and then a championship stuck in the cage. And then you have to climb each side to try to get the key. The championship will be shown. There will be 3 different boxes with either weapons, like 2 of them weapons, 1 of them the key. And then you have to climb the cage with the key and unlock the championship. If it falls out of and you have to grab it, your both feet have to touch the floor on the other side of the arena to be considered the champion. So once you're out there and your opponent's left out, you have to unhook, the championship. If your opponent grabs the championship, he is not championship until he either exits the door or goes out over. So it's like a mixture of like a ladder match and a steel cage match. So that idea seems a little bit far-fetched, but you can see it being entertaining if done right. Well, those are all my ideas. This is Hideo Midoriya. Goodbye. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.